streaming HD, it says on HD, streaming HD might be difficult because of the access to broadband, access to internet. So one would say this. What do you consider to be the greatest challenge to broadband access in the country? Do you have a situation or do you have a solution? Because he couldn't watch HD.
Yes, well, that's on the streaming part, because our technology can receive HD. So if you were streaming HD from your end, we would receive HD on our end. So it has nothing to do with the broadband pipe that we are delivering.
Okay.
Now, in terms of supporting broadband penetration of that super fast, super reliable internet that Smile delivers, the biggest challenge at this stage is the availability of devices that all people can afford. But the good news is that the entire ecosystem, the entire telecoms ecosystem is rallying around 4G LTE, around our technology that we are using here, which is the global standard of the future. So you see the devices coming and the prices of those devices decreasing rapidly and becoming more and more affordable. We expect that in about 18 months from now, we'll have smartphones, tablets at about $100 or less, which really opens the space for a much wider spectrum of the population to benefit from that internet. So today, yes, it's more businesses and people who are really in more affluent areas who can afford it, but very soon, large part of the population and eventually everyone will be able to get access to internet the way we deliver it.
When you say very soon, do you have a time frame?
I'm saying it's about 18 months to 2 years.
18 months to 2 years. So those who want to stream HD can now go ahead and stream it because they're sure that there's a device, there's a platform on which it will fly.
You can go to BBC World News, you can go to Al Jazeera, you can go to any movie that is available in the internet. Go to YouTube, you stream HD, yes, and you receive it.
Let me come to Tom, who's been in Nigeria for, as you said, a bit longer than he's been. What's your take on Nigeria's broadband policy?
I'm glad to see you have one. And obviously it's very important to the government. In a previous life, I was advising UK and European governments about their broadband policies and how they develop them. And their biggest problem was they had big incumbent operators that wanted to get the money for, the services that they had. They didn't really want to make the investments. And it took some time for those governments to really press to get a proper strategy that they would execute. And for Nigeria, the number one thing to do is that you have people who are engaged and interested and determined to get broadband penetration into Nigeria. So once you have the determination, the delivery is actually not that difficult. Without the determination, you'll go nowhere, but you have it.
You're not bothered about the fact that some of the operators have been at loggerheads with government over some of the policies in the area of internet access and all that?
Well, I am, but what I think you're going to see is there's new people coming into the game, putting fibre into the ground, people like us who are coming in with wireless, mobile technologies to do it. So I think the game's going to move past those that are trying to block or those that are trying to slow things down. People like us are not going to slow down. We're going to drive this as hard as it can be driven.
So you're not going to be at loggerheads with the regulators over quality of service, because that's one of the things that the NCC, Nigerian Communications Commission, has been bothered about, quality of service.
Yeah, well that's really because the capacity is in their networks. They've just taken too much into their networks. There are too many people trying to use a limited resource. The good news about our network is it comes out of the box with 10 times the capacity of a 3G network. Right. It just has lots more. It's the way it was designed. It's not that we're being clever. That's what comes.
Okay, Thibault, for commerce to be quick, for the income to roll in, you need some basic infrastructure, power supply, which poses quite a serious challenge.
Yes, but we've run a lot of operations in Africa, and the power supply issue is a known issue to operators, and including to ourselves and our partners. So we have all sorts of redundancies and plans in place so that the issue of power supply doesn't affect our service delivery to our customers.
Completely. So
yes.
There will be no...
We have redundancy and backup and backup of backup.
When you have a downtime?
No.
Okay, what about an effective plan to cope with this peculiar challenge? He's talked about that. Now, but then other people have been here, operating here, and they've had issues with this basic challenge. They tell you fueling, we have to buy diesel, we spend millions on diesel, and then some of our base stations are vandalized. So what are your plans to handle this?
Well, you can't beat vandalism. I mean, the acts of that nature, none of us can deal with them. So there will be times when things won't work. But what we do, as Thibaut says, we put as many things in place as we can to build redundancy into our network. The reason that we can do it better is because we're standing on the shoulders of all those that have done it before. So everyone understands these sorts of problems, everyone understands them very well now, and everyone has put in mitigation. So we're lucky, we're very lucky in that respect that we can use those mitigation techniques for our own purposes straight away. It's not going to be the challenge of suddenly realising that your power is unreliable. We started out knowing that, so you can develop your networks to cope with that.
Okay, develop our network, but you are no doubt doing a lot. So on corporate social responsibility in other countries where you've been doing business, what are you planning to do in Nigeria?
Well, in Tanzania and Uganda, we've connected up several schools. I can't remember the number, but a reasonable number of schools where we give them free internet, and they're having 21 megabits per second links into the schools, which you need for a big classroom because you're sharing it amongst
This is
several
to the
people.
schools?
To the school.
How many schools?
In Tanzania and Uganda, I think it's about 30 now. Here, we're in discussions with the authorities, the appropriate authorities.
Secondary or primary school?
I think they're all secondary, but we are very happy to incorporate primaries as well. The way we do it is we talk to the authorities. You can't knock on the door of a school and say, hey, why don't you do... We'd rather work with the authorities for places that really need it, places that can really benefit from it. So that process is almost complete. It's taken a little longer than we would hope. But we should be putting internet connectivity, high speed, into schools within the next 4 weeks.
Yeah. So we do have some schools connected in Ibadan already,
Okay.
for more than a year.
Free of charge?
Yes,
Yeah.
we provide free access to our network.
So as you launch out in Lagos, Ibadan, you'll be giving out to all the
We will
schools
support
in
schools
Lagos, Abuja, and
everywhere.
Port Harcourt.
Yes, everywhere we are, we will support schools that we choose with the local authorities.
This launch into these 3 cities, is it a robust launch, or you're doing a test run?
No, it's very robust, and we're here to stay.
Wholesome.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, I was going to say this. You said you were attempting to stream, or you were
Yes.
watching the stream.
I was watching
But
the
what
stream.
link were you? Were you on m.channelstv.com?
Oh, I don't know. I just looked it up on Google and it said channels. I hit it and it
I
streamed.
read, okay, but if you had gone to m.channelstv.com, you'll be getting HD.
I'll be getting HD. Okay, I will try that.
I
will
was
definitely try
waiting
that.
for us to finish our discussion. Now I'll tell you where were you at.
No, I just fell into it through a search.
Through Google.
So I don't know
okay.
what it was.
So try out m.channelstv.com. You'll get
I
full
will.
HD.
I will try that straight away.
And we ensure to,
Yeah.
we strive to keep it top notch.
Okay,
Just
I will
so
check
that
it out.
anywhere you are.
Okay.
And
Perhaps I'll start streaming yours because as I drive around to test the network, I stream
Okay.
Al Jazeera. But I'll now switch to your channel.
you're in
and I'll stream
Nigeria.
you.
You should stream
I
Nigeria.
should.
Okay, thank you so much, Engineer Tom Allen, Group Chief Operating Officer of Smart Communications Nigeria,
Thank you.
and Mr. Thibaut Vike, Group Chief Commercial Officer, who is in Nigeria for the first time. I do hope you have fun, and as long as you're in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. And as we round up this segment, we'd like to, the Nigerian economic GDP rebasing will be announced tomorrow, Sunday, the 6th of April. Our Focus business correspondent, Chimeze Obiwago, joins us now and on our Focus on the Economy segment to tell us what this will mean for Nigeria.